the street. Right, looking out of the front door.
My left or your left.
Right, looking out. Because it's far away.
You will get literally right on the top post.
Berkshire, just move your car.
Yeah, seriously. It's so you don't get towed. Burchak, okay, someone go help Burchak drive his car. Because his parking's only going to be worse. Hey, John, go help Burchak. Alright.
Why don't you try to help me?
Jokes. Yeah. I'm glad you guys all sat down. So
I was like, dude, I think I'm just trying to stay.
Oh man.
I see Charlie's head like peek out over the side.
Nick, Charlie, and I came up with this show as a bet with Charlie to see if I could stick the whole microphone in my mouth. That was all the material I had. So I'm gonna go with the fluff I had prepared. That did not take as long as I thought it would. So moving on. I went to. I got a concussion in college, which is interesting, I guess, because I went to the concussion clinic today before coming to this show, and it was interesting because I had to take a baseline impact test for future concussions, because in rugby there's always future concussions, and it was I wasn't doing particularly well on the test, which was kind of sad because I couldn't really blame it on like the history being the subject matter or something I was bad at, because it's literally how well your brain works is the test. So when you do poorly on the test, you tend to spiral because you realize how poorly your brain is working, and you just do even worse. So it's a rough day. But yeah, I got the concussion playing rugby in college, which was fun. I met a lot of interesting people playing rugby. Even the ones on my team are like really strange. There's a kid on my team who he doesn't wear a mouth guard. He explains it like this: like he has a mouth guard at home, he just forgets it before every practice and every game, which does not that's not an excuse. Plus he also passes it off because he bites people when he tackles them, which I laughed off when he told me. And then another one of my teammates pulled up his rugby shorts and there was just a big purple bite mark on his leg. I was like, okay, that's a little weird. And the same guy also got a yellow card during one of our games because he gives short, quick punches to the face every time he tackles someone. And he's like, that way, when they're running the ball, they don't want to get tackled by me. I'm like, well, obviously they don't want to get tackled by you to begin with. You're just punching them in the face. He's like, and when I'm running the ball, they don't want to come near me. I'm like, are you going to punch their face when you're running the ball too? I mean, it sounds like you're punching people in the face. He had this whole plan, like it was negative reinforcement. He's like, it gets in their heads. And I was like, you're not a psychology major. just calm down. It was interesting because I also I met people who played in the weird people who play on the opposite teams of us. Yeah. Well, yeah, I played a deaf team, which was interesting.
What the fuck?
Because they don't stop when the whistle blows. So they really do give 110%. Nice job. And it was sweet because, well, not sweet, because they were also people you didn't want to fuck with. Like there's a guy with tattoos on his head, and he was bald, but he had this weird bleached look, bleached ring around his head, and he didn't speak, so he was just really intense. And he also didn't stop when the whistle blew. It was awful. He looked like one of the dwarves from the new Hobbit movies. That's what he looked like. Which I saw this. Which brings me to my next point. I saw the second Hobbit movie this week, which really cemented in the fact that he looked like a dwarf. And I had one problem with it, is that they kept the character, the one Rettergast, the wizard who's supposed to be on par with Gandalf. And I really don't like him because he's a character with literal bird shit on his face. I mean, if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert, but he has bird shit on his face. And you're supposed to take him seriously as a character, but all I think about when I see him is there's bird shit on his face that he doesn't wipe off. No one comments on it either. Like, Gandalf's never like, it's a trap, you've got to go warn the people. But first, why don't you wipe off that bird shit? There's no time. And the worst part is it's like in his beard, so I know it's been there for a while, and they just let it go. It drives me crazy. But anyway, I've met other weird people at AU, especially through being single, which is an invitation for weird people to hit on you, I think. Especially after going to an all-guys school.
Sexy!
Thanks. That's what I figured out. There's a kid in my econ class. He doesn't speak to me in real life. He's also from China, so his English isn't great when he tries to hit me up on Facebook, which is interesting because I'm not gay, but I also feel like a little offended that he's not wooing me better. Like, it's weird because like, and also watching him like strike out with me reminds me of the times I've striked out with people, and it's just tough to watch. It's just like, you're making the same mistakes I was, and I'd love to point you out on them, but you just feel worse. It's tough to watch. And then recently I had someone decide that I was her boyfriend. Like, she really like locked me down, I guess. Which was weird, especially for me, because I'm not great at talking to girls. So
macaroni.
So I haven't had much. Yeah, macaroni and cheese. Rachel's eating some right now. Yeah, if you don't know what macaroni and cheese means,
tell the story. Tell the story.
Okay, I'm telling the story today. Yeah, I went over to Rachel's house. If you don't know Rachel. And she made us mac and cheese, and I spilled it. And my solution was, it was a judgment call. I put it in my pockets instead of just like getting a paper towel and cleaning it up. I was just like, I gotta pull the trigger on this one. Seems like a good idea at the time. I knew it wasn't, because Greg Fetty was sitting next to me. He called me out, but he waited until we left the house, which was nice. In the house, he was just laughing his ass off. So that really proves my social skills. You know, that's a good example. That's a good cut. And so anyway, I had to, so as a person who's not very good at talking to girls, obviously I was not very good at rejecting them, which was, so that was fun. It was like, I don't think I'm boyfriend material. I won't want to spend every waking hour with you. I'm an introvert and I need a lot of time to myself. So it's real grade A bullshit. And she was like, no, this is what she said. She said, don't worry, you're an extroverted introvert. I love that about you. It's like, you're not responding to my points, you're just complimenting me. That's not how conversation works. And then I said, I'm not looking to date anyone right now. And she was like, I get it, it's college, we'll be EBT, which is not an acronym. And she said,
what's EBT?
And yeah, I said, what's EBT? And it's everything but title. So this girl really did not pick up what I was putting down. Just straight over her head. And so then I pulled out my ace in the hole, which was just lying, just straight lies. Said, what if I go on like a date in Cincinnati and then I post pictures and you're all surprised mad? Which doesn't even begin to make sense, because who posts pictures of a date on Facebook? So clearly she could have called bullshit on my, like, just terrible, terrible lies. And what she said was, don't worry, I understand. I can't control what you do in Cincinnati. Which I didn't accept either, because the implication is she can control what I do in D.C. It was not good. And then a few things happened to me right before I left AU too. Besides that, I got stuck in an elevator, which was fun because I was alone in the elevator, so it was kind of on my own time. I kind of just like ring the alarm bell and just listen to the people walk past me and talk. Just be like, hey, can they hear this? No? Okay, all right. Let's try something else. Charlie was visiting me. Charlie, the friend who hosted, texted him. He was like, I'm going to go get Subway. I hope you figured it out. I was like, I get it. It's lunchtime. I'm not freaking out. And it was great because then I had to call campus security through the telephone. It was one number. You press a button, it picks up on campus security. And what I wanted to say was like, could you transfer me over to the fire department? I kind of don't want your help. I said no. You have 8 to 10 minutes before you come out, and it was not 8 to 10 minutes before I got out of that elevator. And what was great was when the people came over, I started hearing people talk outside the elevator about my situation, which was fun. Just a bunch of people who hang around the front desk just speculating on how it's going to end up. Just, how often does this happen? Which I did not like as a question because it comes up with, is he going to be okay? That's the follow-up to that question. And I didn't want to hear the answer because I could not respond and say, I'm going to be just fine. Which is... And so I wasn't freaking out because there wasn't anybody in the elevator with me to freak out with. I was like, I could put on a show, but it would just be for me. There's no security camera. I was like, I don't need to pick a piss corner just yet. But it was and then it got actually scary because they started moving the elevator to, like jimmy it free, I guess. So I started moving up and down, and then eventually I just dropped. And I was like, ooh, that was not fun. I remember skipping the Tower of Terror at Disney World because I did not want to do that. And then I got forced into that exact situation.
It was a bitch.
It was a bitch. And then, next week, there was a lockdown at AU. Not because there was an actual shooter, it's because some student saw an off-duty cop with like he wasn't firing his weapon in the air, they just saw a gun, called campus security to ruin my visit to the cafeteria. Which is fine, because I was with friends, and we started playing this game of like, who could make the worst joke? And like, my friend thought he had won, because he would Snapchat people, suck at AU, lockdown, hashtag Virginia Tech. And I was like, whoa! By the way, the goal was to make all of these before the all clear, so we did not know we were going to be okay. And my plan was, I was like, Alberto, you're wearing a white shirt. There's a ketchup dispensary right over there. Do you want to take a Snapchat of you covered in fake blood? and then I screamed, I won, in his face. But, so now I'm back home, which has been fun. I also realized that there are people that are weird people back home, especially this one kid who said hi to me like the minute I got back. It was one of those kids that after graduating, you were like, great, I never have to see you again.
Who was it?
I'm not gonna mention names.
Come on!
You'll figure it out.
Who was it?
And this kid is like, I don't know, he has a bunch of interesting quotes, like, one time we were talking about Chipotle meat, and he said, and we were debating whether steak or chicken is better. And he said, if I wanted white meat, I'd suck a dick.
Oh!
Which, which is weirdly homophobic and racist. So it really touched everything. And it's weird because that's so aggressive for a conversation about Chipotle meat. and we didn't really know how to process it. He says a lot of things like that. We were talking about politics once, and he just said, you know, no context needed. China better unfuck itself real fast. Which, number one, grammatically doesn't make sense. And number two, politically does not make sense. It's just weird people I know from St. X. But also, like, moving around,
Pee real quick.
I've seen a lot of places that, like, it brings back a lot of nostalgia. Like, no, I saw Kings Island the other day. How's it going? And I used to work there, which was fun. I got put in a store because I have to specify because people ask me, did you choose to work at this store? And I said, no, I did not choose to work at Girl Space. They said, we need more guys for Girl Space. Surprise, surprise. And I got there, I was the only guy at Girl Space, and they didn't hire more guys. I was pretty much stranded.
Because of your beard.
Because of my beard, yeah, there you go, Justin. And, yeah, actually, and, it was funny because, I've never been a diversity hire before, so that was really interesting. And I would often get put in the shittiest part of the store, which I thought was a little weird because I've never been discriminated against before, like as a wasp. And the girls ganged up on me. I was like, it's fine, I win most days. Sorry. It's just like, I have this weird, like, unrighteous indignation, especially with, like, for example, I had to fly back from DC to get back to Cincinnati, and they searched my bag and took out my shampoo, and I wanted to, like, lean over to the TSA agent and just be like, not for me though, right? You know what I mean? Like, we both know it's not a bomb, right? Like, look at me, right? Come on.
You have a very trusting face.
Yeah. And it was a good time.